In 1911, on the icy shores of Norway, a simple cargo vessel was launched. It was called the Hestmanden, a ship with no ambitions beyond carrying goods from port to port. Its hull was crafted for duty, not glory. But destiny had other plans. During World War I, the Hestmanden sailed the war-torn waters of Europe, weaving through danger with an uncanny resilience. Torpedoes cut through the seas, blockades loomed like forbidding walls, and still the Hestmanden endured. It ferried supplies, ammunition, and soldiers across some of the deadliest zones imaginable, but rumors whispered of unlisted cargo, something other than crates and barrels. Ships around it sank to the depths below, swallowed by submarines and sea mines. But the Hestmanden never did. It always came back, battered yet afloat. Strangely, it returned emptier than before. Some called this luck, others didn't dare name it at all. Decades passed, and the faint whispers around the Hestmanden were silenced by time. But then came the Second World War. Pulled back into service, the now aging vessel seemed to accumulate new stories with every voyage. Objects moved across the deck without reason. Wet footprints trailed into empty hallways. In the dead of night, in the frozen silence of the cargo bays, the crew spoke of muted voices, words from no tongue they could recognize. One sailor, without warning or hesitation, threw himself overboard during a calm evening. No explanation, no note. Another was found locked inside the coal storage, wide-eyed, trembling, and unresponsive. The captain would spend his nights in other cabins, any cabin but his own, and he never told anyone why. No one dared ask. The war ended, but the Hestmanden did not rest. It was left to rot, abandoned like so many aging ships that had carried the weight of global conflict. But somehow it resisted. Every attempt to dismantle it led to unforeseen accidents, workers falling, machinery breaking, tools disappearing without trace. The winds blew strong whenever the cutters approached its rusted hull, always over the Hestmanden, only the Hestmanden. Eventually it was left alone, a ghost among harbors, destined to fade but unwilling to disappear. It wasn't until 1995 that the old ship was summoned back from its quiet decay. Restored as a floating museum, its exterior was brightened and its walls were cleaned. But its history remained untouched. Soon those whispers returned. Visitors reported hearing faint songs in Norwegian, carried through the metal corridors like faint echoes from another time. Staff heard footsteps pacing above them when the deck should have been empty. Night guards saw figures, a man in a 1940s uniform that strolled the deck, then vanished as though walking off into thin air. The cargo bay, the one where wounded soldiers once lay, felt colder than the rest of the ship, even in summer. Walking into it alone made your skin tighten, your breath hitch. Many refused to enter without company, others simply avoided it altogether. At midnight, some claimed to hear war sirens, faint and cracked, the kind that would warn of incoming danger. But there are no sirens aboard the Hestmanden. The sound doesn't come from its walls or its decks. It comes from nowhere and everywhere. Today, the Hestmanden is docked peacefully along the Norwegian coast. It waits quietly, a relic of war transformed into a museum. People step aboard to learn about history, to touch the past, but many leave with an uncanny feeling that they touched something else entirely. Because ships don't just sail oceans. Sometimes they sail through time, carrying the unreachable memories of those who never returned home. The Hestmanden is more than steel and rivets, more than cargo and coal. It's a vessel that holds the secrets of 2 world wars, stories that defy records, whispers that drift through the creaking walls. And if you listen closely, in its hollow chambers, you won't just hear the waves brushing its sides. You'll hear them, the footsteps, the voices, the shadows of those who never truly left. Because not every ship was meant to be forgotten, and some were never meant to let go.